And the question that keeps coming up, Zaniolo still has no goals, right? I mean, how many games now has he not scored a goal? It's been a long time. I think Jerry posted something about how long it's been since he scored a goal. It's been 84 years or something. But yeah, that's the one thing for Roma. I mean, they're missing Dybala, obviously, but not getting any goals, and it's hard. Napoli's a good team. I mean, both these teams are good.
Here's the thing with Zaniolo. I think he's a one-trick pony as an attacker. I think he needs space. He needs to get behind on counterattacks. When they're in possession and the space and the opponent's compact and that sort of thing, I don't think he's one of those guys that is shown that he's capable of finding those spaces where he can unlock things. I don't think he can get into the half spaces and be dangerous. I think he's good at sprinting past opposition. He's Leao, but Leao is way better at it than him. And Leao has other things to his skill set too.
And Zaniolo was good in this game. He has the pace still, which is good. Some guys having those injuries that he have don't have the speed still. He's still got the speed.
Yeah, and he's not a guy that I'm scared of when Roma get the ball wide and they're getting into crossing situations. I want to know where he is, and if I know where he is, that's good enough. He's not a guy that's going to beat you aerially. He's not a guy that, unless you get totally get caught ball watching, then that's where he's going to sneak into the spaces and score. But other than that, I don't know if there's anything more to him than just his pace, his ability to dribble past, his ability to run past, and things like that. And I think he needs it in counterattacking environments where he's got more spaces to do it. He doesn't strike me as an attacker yet that can be effective when being asked the questions that an opponent that will compact things and tighten the spaces up. I don't think he has the answers to those questions yet. Yeah. I think you purely use him, but I mean but he's ideal for the way Mourinho wants to play with Roma.
Yeah, he's good one-on-one. He is good one-on-one. He's got pretty decent vision, but the finishing is not there right now. Obviously, doesn't help that Tammy's not scoring either.
Yeah, right? He had a good early chance, and that was about it. That was about it. But his influence is that when you lose the ball, you better know where he is, because he's one of those guys that a defender will look for in route one. And just, okay, you're running, you've got a ton of room. I'm going to launch this thing about 70 yards and have you go chase it. So
someone asked me this question last week. I forget who it was, and I apologize. And they said, knowing Zaniolo is young, right? He's young. He's got all his potential. And say Mourinho wants Son from Tottenham. Would you make that swap? Son is getting towards the end of his career. He's like 29 now, 28, 29.
Oh, I'd make that swap in a heartbeat.
Right. Well, the question is, you got 4 years of fantastic top-of-the-notch play by Son, or potentially 10 more years of Zaniolo and maybe get into potential that surpasses Son. I said
you could get 6 out of Son. He's fitter than you think.
Fit enough. All these guys are fitter. I said,
and especially in Serie A too.
Yeah, I made a case for Son. I said, you take Son now and you get your team good, you make all this money, you get in the Champions League, maybe you win a Scudetto, and you keep getting more money, you can buy more players to take his place. Zaniolo, yes, he's a potential to surpass Son in terms of talent, but there's no guarantee.
Right.
And right now he's not scoring goals. So you take the sure bet, which is Son at the moment. He knows, Mourinho knows he can get him to work on his system. And hope that Zaniolo blossoms at Tottenham. But I would make that swap in a heartbeat. It's a difficult call. I know there's many Romans who would say, no, I'm not making that move. And I understand that. But I personally, and it seems like you too, would take Son in a heartbeat.